一刷根39大林邦呀，藤蔓当当啊巴扎呀扎呀。
Did you all sleep well? Good, good. Eat well, sleep well, live well. So, this morning we are going to talk about permaculture and right livelihood. Permaculture has two aspects, two dimensions. One dimension is the design. The other dimension is the purpose. What is the purpose of permaculture? What is purpose behind permaculture? Design, we can see. We can see the garden, the design, the energy, all the kind of external appearance. But why we do it? We do it for livelihood, right livelihood. It's a Buddhist term, a beautiful term. At the moment, our industrial society does not create a livelihood. It creates jobs. When you go to university, you are being trained to find a job. Almost from age 15 in your secondary high school to university. So I'll pass exam, so I get a job. Now, when Schumacher College students leave Schumacher College at the end of the year, like my friend Pinhan was at Schumacher College for 1 year, and when she was leaving college, and many of our students leave college, I say to them, now you have been here for 1 year, now you are going out in the world, don't look for a job. Just the opposite of what other universities tell you. The other universities tell you, now what job are you going to do? And we are saying, don't look for a job. Create your own livelihood, right livelihood. Now, what is right livelihood? Right livelihood is to be creative in your work, good work, be imaginative, and transform every work as a work of art. This is where permaculture comes in. Permaculture is an art as well as design. You make beautiful garden. You design it such a way that it pleases your heart, pleases your mind, pleases your consciousness, pleases your senses, and also feeds you and fills your stomach. So you do it with imagination. Gardening through permaculture is not simply to produce food for the body. It is to produce food for the soul, for the imagination, for the mind, for the spirit. You do it with love. What is the difference between job and a livelihood? The difference is you do job for money and you do livelihood for love. So I teach at Schumacher College. I love teaching, although I get paid. I get paid. But I don't teach for pay, for getting paid. I come here. My friends have covered my airfare. Money is okay. Money is only a means to an end. The purpose of your work is not to earn money, but to create a work of art. That's a livelihood. garden is a work of art. Building a house outside when you're doing meditation, I said, I love Taiwan. Nature is very beautiful in Taiwan. The mountains are beautiful. The rivers are beautiful. The oceans are beautiful. The people are beautiful. The food is delicious and beautiful. But I've not seen many farms yet. I don't know if the farms are beautiful. Also, those who are working on a nice permaculture garden, organic permaculture garden, that would be beautiful, I'm sure. But majority of the big farms with tractors and machinery and a kind of factory farms, they are not beautiful. Also, the houses, the concrete jungle that we are building is not beautiful. There's no permaculture architecture there. So we have turned everything for the purpose of earning money. What is money? Money is only an idea. Money is not a real thing. So the philosophy or the purpose of permaculture is to create beauty. We sang outside a song about beauty. There's no beauty in life. Your house should be beautiful. Your food should be beautiful. Your relation should be beautiful. Your thoughts should be beautiful. Your words should be beautiful. Your bodies are beautiful. Nature gives us beautiful body. No judgment. Every human being is beautiful for me. I said outside that women in Taiwan are so beautiful, I want to marry everyone. But why we are creating ugliness in our society? So the purpose of permaculture is to create beauty. Design outside, but imagination inside. Creativity inside. Spirit inside. Our indigenous people yesterday, the little children, beautiful children, sang beautiful songs. They were wearing beautiful clothes, beautiful dance, beautiful gesture. Why we have this industrial clothes like this, made not by hand, not beauty, just functional. Everything is made functional. So we have lost a sense of home. So for me, permaculture is a way of creating beauty. And beauty is the way to create right livelihood. Of course we need food. Of course we need shoes. Of course we need houses. But food, houses, clothes, shoes, furniture, everything has been made so imaginatively, so creatively, that we all become artists. An artist is not a special kind of person, but every person is and should be a special kind of artist. When you go from this conference, the 15th International Permaculture Conference, go home, please go home remembering that you are an artist. You are not just anyone. You are an artist. You have imagination. You have a creativity. If you can speak, you can sing. If you have two legs, you can walk, you can also dance. If you have hands, you can write beautiful Chinese letters. You can also do calligraphy. You can do paint. You can make paints. You can do painting, beautiful pictures. And permaculture garden is a beautiful work of art. And so, when you go from here today, please go thinking, I am an artist. I am a poet. Poet is not only the person who writes beautiful words on a page. Of course, that is he or she is a poet. But the word poet in Greek language comes, the word poet comes from Greek language, poiesis, and the word means to make. So if you are a maker, you are a poet. If you are just a consumer, you are not a poet. Our world today has turned every human being into a consumer. Permaculture has this challenge to make everyone into a poet. Maker. You are a maker. You make food. You make children. You make love. You make furniture. You make houses. You make friendship. Making. That's a right livelihood. At the moment, our technology does not want you to make anything or do anything. Everything is automatic. Just push button. Everything is automatic. Now AI is coming. AI will make humans redundant. You don't need to think. You don't need to speak. You don't need to paint pictures. You don't need to write an essay or book. AI can do it for you. Human beings are redundant. So the idea of permaculture is to transform everyone into an artist, everyone into a poet, everyone to seek right livelihood. It's wonderful to have a garden. It's wonderful to work in the garden. It's wonderful to build a house. It's wonderful to write a book. It's wonderful to paint a picture. To do something, to make something is natural to us. And our technology, our science, our industry, our business, our government want us to do nothing. Be a useless human being is the purpose of our modern industrial civilization. They are making us useless. Humans are not needed. You don't need to have humans to do anything. Robots will do everything. That's the kind of future coming. So we need permaculture as a big movement, as antidote to robotic culture. Antidote. We want humans to be helpful, creative, imaginative, artistic, poet. That's a right livelihood. So that right livelihood includes the word love. And the love, doing everything with love. If you're a teacher, you can have two purposes. One is to earn money, so they can pay your bills. You can do shopping, you can pay your electricity, you can pay your heating. You have to pay the bills, you need money. So okay, I'll teach. That is job. Also, as I said, AI may not need you to be a teacher. Computer will be a teacher. A robot will be a teacher. But even just to earn money, then it is not love. It is a job. It's not right livelihood. It's a job. But if you are teaching because you love children, you are teaching because you want to share your knowledge. You want to help the child to grow and emerge and manifest what is his or her true potential. A teacher is a gardener. What do we do in a garden? Permaculture gardeners. We put a seed in the soil. We don't tell seed what to do. We don't tell apple seed, no, you are not good apple. You become an orange. You are not good an apple. You become a plum or pear or mango. No. The work of a gardener is to help the apple to become the apple tree. Apple seed to become an apple tree. So in the same way, a teacher is not telling a child, no, you are not good. You have to be a doctor. No, you are not good. You have to be an accountant. No, you are not good as you are. You have to be something else. That's not true education. The word education is to educare, to bring out what is already there. Each person, each child is unique, special, divine, artist. You cannot make artists in the factory. Each person has to be his or her own artist. So each child has to be self-realized, become what they are, who they are, their true potential. And so you are a teacher to bring that with love, with dedication. I am here like a gardener, like an orchard keeper, like a farmer. I'm here to help you and to love you. I love children. I love teaching. I love helping. That love transforms your teaching into right livelihood. If you are just doing for money, just a job. You are not true teacher. You are just doing a job. Doctor, same thing. If you are a doctor, there for earning money, that's a job. But if you are a doctor because you want to heal, you want to help, you love people to be healthy, to be good, so that they can be creative, they can fulfill their mission, their purpose of life. Anything. I was a monk. I was a monk for 9 years. And then I had a dream when I was 18 years old. And in my dream, Mahatma Gandhi came. And he said in my dream that you are a monk. You are practicing spirituality in an isolated monastic order. How many people can become monks and join the monastic order? A very few. So spirituality becomes an exclusive to few who can go and live in a monastic order. I want everyone to practice spirituality. Spirituality should be available and accessible to every single human being. Like every single human being has been gifted by the universe, soul, spirit, imagination, creativity. And it should not be exclusive to monks. That dream shook me. I woke up sweating. What is Gandhi saying? And that made me to leave the monastic order and come in the world. Because Mahatma Gandhi was saying that you can be a spiritual business person. You can do business with sense of spirit, sense of love, sense of unity, sense of beauty, sense of higher purpose. Then a business can be spiritual practice. Politics can be spiritual practice. Mahatma Gandhi was a politician. Martin Luther King was a politician. Nelson Mandela was a politician. But their purpose was not power. At the moment, our politicians are there mostly for power, for money, for prestige, ego. That's not right livelihood. That's not love. That's not permaculture. So, purpose of permaculture, purpose of right livelihood is to do whatever you are doing as an offering, as a service to humanity and a service to our planet Earth. So you all don't need to go to monastic order. All of you, all of us, and I and you together, we can practice spirituality in everyday life. In the Hindu tradition, marriage is very sacred. You can practice spirituality in a married life, in a householder's life. In Indian tradition, we have 4 stages of life. They're all spiritual practice. The first stage is learning. You are learning, acquiring knowledge, experience from your teachers. You are learning to garden, you are learning to build, you are learning to speak, you are learning to write, you are learning to paint, you are learning to dance, you are learning to sing, you are learning. The second stage, that's a spiritual practice. Learning is spiritual practice. Not only a teacher teaches with love, but student also taught to learn to love. Why are you learning? Why are you in a school? Why are you in a college? Why are you in a university? So I can get a job. No, you are not there only to get a job. You are in university to learn skills of thinking, feeling, making, being, so that you can be of service. Then the second stage of life is a householder. Spiritual practice is a religious spiritual practice in the Indian tradition called grihastha, the householder. So you marry, you have love, you make love, you look after your husband, you look after your wife, you produce children, you make business, you make a farm, whatever you want to do. So all spiritual practice. It's a permaculture. It's not just to earn money and pay the bills and then get the pension and retire and die. It's a service. Wonderful idea. And then third stage is that now you have had children, they are grown up, you have done the business, you have built the house, you are a good householder. Now you should do something for the community. So third stage is that you become a pilgrim. You become something you do for the greater household, the second stage, and then a bigger community of society where you are doing something for the greater good of society. And then the fourth stage is a bit more spiritual practice, where you are doing a little bit more focus on your spirituality. So 4 stages of life, and that is a kind of right livelihood that we in Indian tradition we practice. So I would like to say that the purpose of permaculture is good design in our food production and food distribution, as David Holmgren yesterday spoke about the whole picture. And also he did mention ethics, which is a very, very good mention. So the ethics, I say, is the purpose. What's the purpose behind? If you're just doing permaculture just to produce food and nothing much more, then I don't think that's enough. We need to have a bigger vision, a bigger picture, a bigger idealism behind our permaculture. So design leading to right livelihood, which is creating beauty and fostering love and an acceptance of the world. What is love? What is love? Love is to accept the world as it is. We cannot design the whole world to suit our purpose. But through participation and through acceptance, you transform the world through love, not through imposition. Not say, I'm right, you are wrong. That's not love. We are all together. Let's sit down together. There's no one truth. There are many truths. All of you are here listening to me. All of you are receiving my talk in your own way. And you go out and everybody asks you, what did Satish say? And you, 200 or 300 people here, will have 300 different answers. That's a diversity of truths. And we should honor that. There's no one truth. Love comes before truth. Love unites. Then you can accept the diversity of truths. Your truth, fine. My truth, fine. Let's work together. How can we work together? And how we can find a common ground. So that can come only when you have a love in your heart. Love is to accept the other as the other is. Not judgment. Not judgment, but acceptance of the other as the other is. Not saying you are wrong, you are wrong, you are wrong, I'm right, world should be like this, world should be like that. We become too obsessed with our ideas, our truth, and we forget love. And so I would say the right livelihood and all our work, gardening, farming, teaching, building, householder, bringing children up, everything you do with that greater purpose of love, of acceptance, of living in the world as it is and making a little bit of difference, a little bit of change, a little bit of better than what we received. A little bit of, if everyone puts a little bit of that contribution, the world will be a better place. So that is what I would like to share with you today, that the purpose of permaculture, the meaning of permaculture, the spirit of permaculture is as important as the design of permaculture. Quite often people get so obsessed with design, which is good. We need good design, but design must have a purpose. And the purpose is right livelihood and love. Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful response. And we have plenty of time because I want to have lots of questions and lots of comments. And so, so please ask any question you would like to ask so that we can explore together rather than I just speaking as a monologue. So please raise your hands. Here, Natalie asking first question. Thank you.
Satish ji, I took the Gandhian economics course with you with Dr. Vandana Shiva in Navdanya. and you talked about your powerful journey. And I fear that so many people here are not really aware maybe of who you are and your journey. And I wonder, could you share a little bit about that and how you came to this concept of radical love through your life? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a wonderful question. I was born in Rajasthan, in India. When I was 4 years old, my father died. And my mother was crying, my sisters were crying, the whole family was crying, and my father was lying on the floor, covered with white cloth, not moving, not speaking. So 4 years old boy, I was confused. What is happening? So I went to my mother and said, why are you crying? Why are you wearing this now kind of sari, which you used to wear beautiful, colorful saris. Now you are wearing this very dull color. She said, we are all very sad because your father is dead. What is dead? Now your father will never speak to you, never move, never go for walking with you. He's gone. And everybody's sad. Mother, I asked, will you die one day? Yes, I also die. Really? And then we all be sad? And you will never speak to me again? Yes, I will die, and then that will happen. Mother, will I die as well? Yes, you also die. We all die. So that question at age 4 started to bother me. And I wanted to ask, is there any way to stop death? That was my question. At age 4, is there any way to stop people dying? And I kept wondering. I went around here, there. I grew up. My mother was wonderful. She was a great cook. She was a great gardener. She would walk with me. She was a good singer. I had a wonderful childhood. But still, I was worried about this death. And when I was about 8 years old, I went to see my mother's Jain guru, teacher, guru. And he was sitting alone. So I asked him, Gurudev, is there any way of stop people dying? And he said, yes, there is. We have to stop the cycle of birth and death. And that's a Jain teaching. And you become monk. So that you renounce the world, you renounce the attachments, you renounce all the possessions, and you'll live very simple, very beautiful, very spiritual life as a monk, and then you can be free of being born and death. So that inspired me, and I, at age 9, became a Jain monk. And then I was Jain monk for 9 years. And as I said to you about my dream of Mahatma Gandhi. And so I left the monastery at age 18. And then I joined Vinoba Bhave, a great Gandhian land reformer. And he went around India asking landlords to give land for the poor. Because there are many, many big landlords in India, owning thousands of acres. And millions of untouchables, low caste, poor people working on the land, laborers, and they have no land. And when there's no season, they have no job, no work, no livelihood. So Vinoba started this movement of land gift. So he went from village to village to village, north, south, east, west, center, entire India for 10 years. Asking landlords to give land for the poor. He walked 100,000 miles. Amazing. And I joined him as a Gandhi. But Gandhi was already gone, passed, assassinated. So when I left my monastic order, the Gandhi's kind of heir or successor was Vinoba Bhave. So I joined with him and walked with him and went And so altogether, Vinoba Bhave in this land gift movement received from the landlords as a gift 4 million acres of land. I don't know in Taiwan or in other countries how you measure the land, but it's about 2.5 million hectares, 4 million acres of land, huge amount of land. And he distributed to the landless, poor, untouchable, low-caste laborers. It was a great movement. I joined that. So there was a wonderful, in a kind of permaculture movement, precursor of permaculture movement to liberate land from this big land holdings and give land to the poor. So the poor people, it's a beautiful story. I can spend hours telling you, but it's a beautiful story. If you go to Vinoba Bhave website, you might know a bit more. But that was a wonderful land gift movement. And then during that time, I was 26 by that time. One day I went to a coffee house, a cafe, with a friend, and we wanted to talk something. And so we sat down at a very nice table and we ordered for coffee. In Bangalore, in South India, we have very good coffee, as filtered coffee. We always used to drink. And so we ordered the coffee, and while we were waiting for the coffee, I read the newspaper. And just my eyes were sort of caught on a little piece of news with a photograph of a great philosopher in England called Bertrand Russell, 90 years old. And the news was that he's arrested and put in jail. Why? Because he was protesting against the nuclear bomb. When I read this story, and I was already a Gandhian, peace was very close to my heart. I said to my friend, look, read. He's a man of 90 going to jail for peace in the world. What are we doing, young men, sitting here drinking coffee? We should do something. So we talked and talked and talked. And I said to him, let's go to Moscow. Let's go to Paris. Let's go to London. Let's go to Washington. 4 nuclear capitals of the world. And protest against the bomb and join the world peace movement led by Bertrand Russell. And then my friends, but I don't walking such a long way. I've never walked so much. I said, I was a monk. I was with Vinoba. I will teach you how to walk long distance. But at that time, I did not speak English. So I said, you are educated. Because I was a monk, so did not go to school. I did not go to university. I did not learn any languages like English. But you know English. You teach me English, and I teach you walking. And so he agreed. And so he and I started walking from the grave of Mahatma Gandhi without any money in our pocket. We said, money means not trusting humans. You don't have to trust anybody. You go and buy your food. You go and stay in a hotel and you buy your clothes. You don't need anybody. So wars begin in fear. Peace begins in trust. So we go for peace. So we trust ourselves, we trust people, and we go without any money. And so without any money, we walk from Delhi to Pakistan, to Afghanistan, to Iran, to Communist Soviet Union, to Moscow. And then from Moscow to Belarus, Berlin, Germany, Belgium, France. And then we took a boat from France to England, from Calais to Dover, and then to London, walked, and met Bertrand Russell. Amazing. He was still alive. He was 92 by that time. It took 2 years to walk from Delhi to London. And then Bertrand Russell said, you walked without money from India to London, but how are you going to go to Washington? You can't walk on Atlantic. Can I give you some money? I said, Lord Russell, we don't want to touch any money. We have not touched money for 2 years. But if you can help me with 2 tickets, that'll be very helpful, very kind. So he helped us. And we took a boat from Southampton to New York, and we walked to Washington, and we ended our journey at the White House. And then after the White House, we went to the grave of John F. Kennedy. Thank you. We ended our journey at the grave of John F. Kennedy. So we started from the grave of Mahatma Gandhi to ended at the grave of Kennedy. 2.5 years without any money. And so that was a wonderful journey. And then I came to England again, and I was offered the editorship of Resurgence magazine. So I became editor of Resurgence, and that was part of ecological, environmental, permaculture movement. I met Bill Mollison and invited him to give Schumacher lecture. And then I went to Australia. And then in 1991, we started Schumacher College. And so that has been going for 35 years. But now we are going through a transition, and there is some change. And that's another story. I don't want to be too long. And so that has been my life. I'm sorry, your question is a long story. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Good. Thank you. We use this word love a lot, and you use it. Something I think is interesting is trying to understand what the energy behind this word love is. You mentioned it was acceptance, and I wanted to ask you for what you feel the word love means to you. And if that's not too hard of a question, also what you feel the word peace means to you.
Okay. It's a very big question. What does love mean? Actually, each and every one of us have our own meaning of love. There's no one meaning of love which you can put in words, which can be a universal meaning of love. It's a very big word, and therefore each and every one of us have to find our own meaning. What does it mean to me to love? But broadly speaking, you accept yourself as you are. Loving yourself means I am good. I am a unique being. Love does not mean ego. Love does not mean selfishness. Loving yourself does not mean I'm better than you, I'm right and you are wrong, and I'm this and you are that. No judgment. Acceptance of yourself and being yourself who you are is the first step of love. Love yourself as you love others. Love yourself and then love your neighbor. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love the world. You cannot love others. Because you are the world. You are microcosm of macrocosm. You are the world. And therefore you have to love yourself. So accepting yourself as you are, warts and all, our health, our body, our mind, our consciousness, our spirit, our emotions, whoever you are, accept yourself. And then through love, you also transform yourself. You grow yourself. You look after yourself. You look after your body. You look after your mind. You look after your consciousness. You look after your imagination. You learn. You grow. And that's evolution. So love does not mean stopping. Love is evolving, but without judgment, without saying, I'm not good, I'm not this, I'm not that, I want to be that, I want to be like this, not comparing with anybody else. So that's a love to me. Then the second love is others, whoever you are. I went around the world. I went to Muslim countries. I said, are you Muslim? I love you. Then I went to Christian countries. I said, are you Christian? I love you. Then I went to communist countries, Soviet Union. I said, you are communist? I love you. Then I went to capitalist countries like Germany and France and America. I said, are you capitalist? I love you. Are you a military man? I love you. Are you a policeman? I love you. You are a prisoner? I love you. Love does not discriminate. You have to accept everybody as they are. then grow through participation. Like you grow yourself, you become, you be and become. In the same way, everybody can transform themselves through participation, through communication, through loving relationship. So teachers and students love each other and they transform each other. So transformation can only happen through love. Hatred can kill. Hatred cannot transform. Only through love you transform. That's Rumi's poetry and all the other great teachers. So loving everyone, not only the good person you like, not the person with whom you agree, not the person you appreciate and say, yes, it's a good person I love. That's easy. Of course, you can love the person you like. Of course, you love the person you agree with. But even those who are not in agreement with you, you love all humanity. Humanity in love comes before nationality, before race, before religion, before truth. Love first. Whoever you are, I love you. No ifs, no buts. That's the second. And the third is we have to love nature, love universe, love trees, love forests, love animals, love birds, love cats, love dogs, love all living beings. They are our kith and kin. We belong to this universe and all living beings are our family. And I said in the meditation, cosmos is my country. Before your country is Taiwan and my country is India, cosmos is our country. Planet is our home. Oikos, planet is our home. And all living beings, humans and other than humans, are our kith and kin and family members. And nature is our nationality. Before you are Taiwanese or Chinese or Russian or American or European or Indian or whatever, you are born in nature. We are nature. Nature is not just those trees and birds and mountains and rivers and oceans. We are nature. So loving yourself and loving nature is one. And so that way you love nature. And so your love is, you expand your heart in so much that there's no hatred or minimum hatred. We are humans. We get angry, we get a bit of jealousy, we get all this anxiety. But our direction of travel is always towards from hatred to love, from untruth to truth, from darkness to light. That's the kind of journey we make. So that to me is love. Love is acceptance without criticism, without complaining, without judging. I mean, everybody has different truth. We cannot. So even Mahatma Gandhi, he did not hate British people. He said, I don't want racism. I don't want colonialism. I don't want imperialism. I want India to be free. But English people can live in India as my brothers and sisters. I met Martin Luther King after my journey in Washington. And he said the same thing. I don't hate white people. White people are my brothers and sisters. They are my friends. I don't hate white people. I hate the racism, discrimination, and the segregation. So you are campaigning, like we say industrialism, and we don't want materialism. But people who are in it, business people, politicians, we love them. And we try to transform them. And in the meantime, we can also be ready to be transformed. So love is to embrace everybody without judgment, accept people, and that through participation, through dialogue, through interaction, through all the kind of work that you can do, you transform through permaculture, through landscape, through love, through many, many things you can do. Act and act and act without hating anybody. That's the love.
谢谢您，就是千里迢迢从英国过来，对您的演讲让我很感动。然后我是第3次听您的讲座，上个礼拜有去台北听您的那个讲座。然后我有一个问题，就是在舒马克这个教育里面有提到很多图文的这些理念，然后这样的教育对大学生应该也很有帮助，让他们找到自己生存之道。 而不是用所谓的商业经济的模式来争取所谓外在的物质的这个部分为目标。那图门这个非主流的这个部分，我就觉得是一个这个世界很需要的一个理念。那在台湾有很多的大学生有忧郁的状况，甚至全世界有很多的一些年轻人他们找不到工作，甚至有自杀，在对岸现在的状况也不是很好。那这样的一个图门的理念，为什么没有办法推广到政治一些大企业或者是一些比较有经济权利的人？那变成说我们的力量很小，但是我们觉得这个是为世界改善世界很好的方式，为什么没有办法推展更广？然后我就觉得就有时候会觉得很无奈。对，那像我们在上班要面对这些物质的这个部分，那怎么样去挑战我们身边这些的考验？谢谢。
Thank you for your good question. The plight of the young, having no work, no meaning, no purpose in life, is a big question. And therefore, many young people feel anxious, lonely, disconnected, not appreciated, lack of relationship. All these problems that you mentioned are very real. So, answer is not easy. How are we going to deal with this big problem? Because technology is going to make our young people even more alienated. So, one thing I would like to see, and I spoke to the environment minister in Taipei of Taiwan, and I said to him that try to bring every school and every university should have a permaculture garden. Every school should have a garden. So the children can learn to grow and see the miracle, the magic, the kind of amazing wonder of nature. How you plant one seed touching the soil, and that one seed, tiny seed of apple, can become a big tree and give 1,000 apples, and each apple has more seeds in it. It's a beautiful cycle of nature. If our children grow up in nature, I think they'll be less depressed, less lonely, less disconnected, because they will have a connection with nature. But also, when you are in the garden, in the school, other children will be working with you, and the teacher will be working with you, and then you are growing food, and then you will be cooking together, like at Schumacher College. We have a garden, so our young people don't feel depressed there, because they go in the garden. Garden is healing. The best way to heal our loneliness and disconnection and separation is to connect with the garden. But in the garden, you are working with other gardeners. Somebody watering the flowers, somebody is harvesting the food. We are all working together as a community, 4, 5, 6 people working together. There's no isolation. If you are on a computer or smartphone all the time, you are going to be isolated. You are not connecting with anybody else. And so every school in Taiwan and anywhere in the world should have a garden. That's the first way to stop isolation and disconnection and depression and anxiety of young people. Every university should have farm, a permaculture farm, where children can learn to be growers. And then I think we need to transform, but it has to start with education. Young people grow out of schools. They are spending their at least 15 or 20 years, 15 years in the school. Age 5 to 20, they are spending 15 years. Just imagine the conditioning of the mind which happens in our schools. If every school has a garden and a farm and a music and a poetry and relationship, that's where I would like to start. Transform the educational system. At the moment, our educational system is very left brain, just job, administration, management, and nothing else. Education should be for a whole person. Education of head, education of heart, education of hands, education of whole person. And that way we can help the young people to grow with skills and poetry and music and dancing and relationship and gardening and cooking. And then also you can have a computer, smartphone, I don't mind. You can have a little iPad, I don't mind. But spending all your hours and hours and hours on your smartphone and computer, and children having no other purpose, and then they say, I have no meaning, I have no purpose, I'm disconnected, I'm isolated, I'm anxious, I don't know what the purpose of my life. What do you expect? That's a natural consequence. So I think we need to spend less time on our computers and smartphones and more time in our permaculture garden.
What a blast that you point that indigenous peoples still have the beautiful singing, still in a beautiful color with everything by the nature, because we born in the nature. Then I believe that sometimes I went to YouTube to listen to your grace simplicity speech. And that's touching me because the point that you mentioned, create your own job. I am that kind of person that I want to create my job, and I did. And I say, wow, this is the person that I should be followed. And now you see that indigenous people now more and more plastic into our community. And I was thinking, well, we have the sense of beauty. We have the beauty that's still could be using in the modern time, but how can I do it? Just follow you to be the person that's persuade that let indigenous people know that.
How you do it? You are already doing it. You are doing it. You are the way you sang yesterday, the way you presented children, everything was very beautiful. So only thing how we do it is to start with yourself. You cannot change the world unless you change yourself. We always want to change somebody else. We want to change the government, we want to change business, we want to change industry, but we don't want to change ourselves. So how do you start? Be the light yourself. Be the radiator of change. A radiator don't complain that how do I make the room warm? Radiator warms the room. So Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. Martin Luther King said the same thing. So what I can do, I'm doing it. I do my best. I have my permaculture garden. I have a Schumacher College. I go around. I write books. I communicate. I be and do what I can by myself. So all of you are doing it with your permaculture. Just do it better. Do it with love, without any kind of ambition that I want to change the world and the world does not change. So I'm depressed and I'm disappointed. Don't expect anything. Do your best, do with love. If everybody does the right thing, be the radiator, be the light, be the change, and then world will be a better place. We cannot make the whole world a better. Even Mahatma Gandhi could not make whole India a better place. Even Jesus Christ and Buddha did not bring an end to suffering in the world. So, suffering in the world, problems in the world will always exist. At the time of Mahatma Gandhi, there was imperialism, colonialism. At the time of Martin Luther King, there was racism. At the time of Nelson Mandela, there was apartheid. At the time of Václav Havel, there was the Berlin Wall or Soviet Union, communist regime. There were always problems in the world. Today, we have a global warming, we have a climate change, we have an ecological crisis, we have problems. Social injustice, we have problems. Problems are always there, and they give us opportunity to do something about them. So please do not worry and do not think that there will be time when in the world there will be no problems. Please do not think that there will be time when my health will have no problem. My body will be perfect. I will not get cold. I will not get cough. Even now I'm getting cough. It's natural. Body has that nature. So always move from illness to health. Always move from what is a problem to solution. Focus on solution. Do your best. Do not expect the results immediately. Results are in the hands of the universe. In your hands, in my hand, only the action. only the action. Act, act, and act. And act now, not tomorrow. Do not postpone your action for tomorrow. Change is not coming tomorrow. Change is starting today. Journey for 1,000 miles begins with one step today. I started to walk from Delhi to Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Soviet Union, Europe, and after 2.5 years, I was in Washington. Step by step, you act step by step every day. You do your best. Results are not in your hands. So please do not worry how much impact you are having. Just worry, what am I doing? How much with love and compassion and kindness and energy I can do. That's what I'm doing. I'm 88 and I want to continue to act until the last breath of my life. That's all I can do. What will happen, I speak to you. How you receive, what will happen, what the result, not in my hands. It's up to you. So act without expecting any outcome, achievement, results. Just do your best and leave the results in the hands of the universe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your Western experience and legend stories, okay, and the power of love to move us and to be the action. But okay, could you encounter too much love, become a love burden in your life? And how did you deal with this? Thank you.
Say again. What was the question again?
Sometimes too much love can be a problem. And have you encountered love burden in your life?
Okay. Too much love can be a burden. I have not encountered too much love as a burden. In Taiwan, as I said yesterday, I'm receiving so much love and it's not a burden. Love is like, I mean, you don't say space is too much or air is too much. You take what you need to take. Air is everywhere, but you breathe what you can breathe. Food is everywhere, but you eat what you can eat. So you receive what is your capacity to receive, and then rest, thank you, and that's enough. You don't have to be overwhelmed with food, and you don't have to eat more than what your body can take. And you air, water, food, love, same thing. The limit is your acceptance and your receiving. Givers should give love as much as they can without any limit, and you receive what you can and leave it at that. So capacity of receiving is yours. So I'm never overwhelmed with love. Please love me as much as you can.
Thank you again for your sharing. Your story is truly inspiring. I think we would like to know more of your story. Reflect like you're 88 years old. Can you mention any certain event shaped who you are now? Like
so maybe
any reflect your 88 years till now. Like any certain event come to your mind, which shape become who you are this now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You know, there is no one event which makes you who you are. It's a series of events. But I would say that walking without money around the world for 2.5 years was something which made me more resilient. Because during the walk, You are going through countries which you don't know the language. You don't know anybody. In the morning, you start walking. You don't know where you will sleep, where you will eat, whether you will get food. And sometimes I was sleeping under the stars in the open because I did not get any shelter. And I said to my friend, tonight we are staying in a 1-million-star hotel and not 5-star hotel. And so when you are walking, you are living with uncertainty. Every moment as it comes, you accept. And that's what I learned to love, to accept the world as it is. So I would say that those 2.5 years walking around the world without money, step by step, through the mountains, deserts, snow, jungle, unknown countries, unknown people, unknown languages, and yet going through and coming out after 2.5 years, that taught me lesson to trust the world, trust myself, and through trust, I can live a happy life. Thank you all for listening to me. Thank you.
一刷根39